Welcome to yet another episode of GameSack. This time around we're going to take a look at some very polarizing games. Now these are games where people usually have very strong opinions either for or against them and often get into internet arguments and stuff like that.
Yeah, and there's really usually no middle ground on these games either. You either love them or you hate them.
Very true. So which controversial game are we going to pick first, Dave?
Well, I'm going to take a look at Super Mario World 2, Yoshi's Island.
Oh, Yoshi's Island. I'm interested to see how that's controversial.
Yeah, let me tell you.
Okay.
Yoshi's Island. This game is really a prequel to the Mario series. Instead of playing as Mario, you play the role of different Yoshis throughout the game. And Mario is a helpless infant that rides on Yoshi's back throughout the game. Most people are divisive about this game because of one simple reason. When Mario gets knocked off of Yoshi, he has a very, very annoying cry.
It's not just the cry. The game also makes an awful beeping noise at the same time. Listen.
Joe, say that again? I can't hear you over this beeping noise. Well, yeah, the cry is annoying, but it's part of the fun as you scramble madly with Yoshi trying to get Mario on his back again to shut him up.
Yeah, the game is trying to annoy you into quickly reclaiming Mario, but it just isn't necessary to do that. You know, I try to get him back even without those obnoxious noises. Come on!
You know, another reason people don't like this game is that they say it's not a true Mario game because you don't control Mario. This is true, but the title of the game is Super Mario World 2, and Yoshi controls and acts very similar to Mario in a sense that he can land on enemies' heads to defeat them. He can ground pound just like Mario, and he has an extra ability that Mario doesn't.
What, crapping eggs?
Well, yeah, that's awesome, isn't it? The game flows very much like a Mario game. The game itself is very fun and is in my top 3 Mario games of all time. It has all the ingredients to make a great game. It has great level design, great soundtrack, great sound effects.
No, I disagree on that part right there.
Well, we're divisive on that. It has great use of colors and artwork, lots of hidden items and rooms to discover.
It's also one of the most, if not the most difficult Mario game of all time. This game is definitely challenging. Yoshi's Island is a really fun game, Dave, but I'll never be won over with those sound effects in there, you know?
Yeah, there's no surprise there for me really, Joe. Well, what game do you think qualifies next?
None other than the infamous Sonic CD.
Oh, good one. People love debating that game on the internet. Let's take a look.
No game in the Sonic series is more polarizing than Sonic CD. Some people say it doesn't quite feel like a true Sonic game, that it's the black sheep of the 16-bit Sonic family. They also don't like the time traveling mechanic introduced in the game. But others love it, saying it makes the game extremely unique and enjoyable. Now personally, I'm in the camp that doesn't care much for this game. I feel the time traveling interrupts the gameplay as it needs to stop and load another level. I'm also not sure what I'm supposed to do in these alternate times, although I've heard explanations many times. I just guess I don't listen very well. Am I supposed to destroy these things? But I can travel into the past and into the future in each level, so I'm not really sure what's going on. Personally, I'd rather have more unique levels than past and future versions of each level interrupting my speedy playthroughs. I also do not like the level design of this game. It's like some random internet person took a level editor and randomly hacked together a level while having a sugar high.
Yeah, I thought so too. I mean, there's very little rhyme or reason to the levels here. It's all just a jumbled mess.
The game also seems to struggle with its scrolling and slows down more than the other Sonic games. Was the programming here done by less skilled people than other Sonic games or something?
It also has a weird looking spin dash. Also, Sega is claiming that suddenly this game is the direct prequel to Sonic 4. Looks like the direct prequel to Sonic 2 to me, but what do I know?
Oh, but Sonic CD's divisiveness doesn't end there. Oh no. There's also the issue of the soundtracks. There is an exclusive version of the soundtrack for the US version, as well as the soundtrack that was for the Japanese and European versions of the game. Why the music was changed for the US version has never been officially revealed to our knowledge, but it is a puzzling change because they didn't bother to change the music for the past levels, making them stand out like a sore thumb. But whenever a version of the game is released for a modern console with only the US soundtrack, people will bitch. Same goes if it's only released with the Japanese soundtrack. You can't win. Personally, I feel the Japanese soundtrack fits the game much better and is better music all around. I'd much rather listen to this than this. Or this. Over this. But some of the US versions of the music are better, such as this. Compared to this. The only real solution would be to allow the user to assign US or Japanese music on a level-by-level basis.
You know, I like both soundtracks myself.
Overall, Sonic CD continues to split people to this day.
Alright, Joe, well, I've got a question then. So, say half of me really likes Sonic CD and the other half doesn't like it at all. Does that mean I've found some sort of middle ground?
No. That means you're a freak, Dave.
No.
Yeah, it does. It really does. Because if you're not posting strongly worded comments either for or against any of the games we covered this week, you just don't understand how the internet works.
That's a good point there, and you know what? I'm going to try much harder to hate that game.
Thank you. And what game do you have for us next, Dave?
Well, this one qualifies. It's Super Mario Sunshine on the GameCube.
Oh, wow, yeah, that is a good choice.
Thank you. Super Mario Sunshine. Released almost 1 year after the GameCube hit the market, Mario Sunshine touted a new game with beautiful graphics and very bright colors and good level design. Well, we did get that, but we also got Flood, and a game that felt rushed overall. Flood is a mixed bag and causes most of the divisiveness. Some people praise it and say it's a new way to control Mario and adds a lot of depth to the game, which it does. Some people hate it and say it's a gimmick and is hard to control, which it also is. Another fault of the game is the finicky camera, which at times can change on you when you need it to stay steady the most. It can make some of the platforming in the game difficult, as you manually have to control the camera as you are controlling Mario.
You know, this game is a lot harder than Yoshi's Island for me, but certainly not in a good way. The controls kind of break the game, and it makes it not very enjoyable, and certainly a disappointing follow-up to Super Mario 64.
Personally, I could go either way with this game. I don't hate it and I don't love it, it's just, average. I did get used to the Flood system and was able to control it fairly well. Not perfect control, but good enough to get done what needed to be done. I really didn't like the residents of Delfino Island and found them to be very ugly. Definitely my least favorite Mario game as of 2011.
As of 2011, you mean they've got something even worse in store for the future?
You're damn right they do.
Sorry, Dave. I still hate that game.
Well, of course you do, Joe. You know, it's Mario and Nintendo. You hate everything of that sort. But anyways, I've read all your comments on the internet, and I remember we did an episode about Sonic vs. Mario, and
I remember that.
You pretty much ragged on it in there.
Well, it deserves it, man. Come on.
Well, whatever. But, well, what's the last game you're going to talk about today?
The king of all games that cause polarizing opinions. Everyone has posted a strongly worded comment on this one, I'm betting. I'm talking about none other than the mighty Shenmue.
Ooh, that's an awesome one. Having an opinion is a must if you want to post on any game forum on the internet.
Very true. Let's get to it. Shenmue is one of the most divisive games out there. You either love the hell out of it or you really, really hate it with an extreme passion. It's rare to find someone who holds a somewhat neutral position. It's a game where you play the part of the main character as he goes about his everyday life in his quest to find the man who killed his dad.
Do you know a man named Charlie?
You control every aspect except showering, eating, and evacuating your previously ingested food and drink. Many people find this game boring and slow and just think it's overrated beyond belief. They hate waiting around for events to happen, they hate the pacing, and some even think it's trying way too hard to be realistic. Others really get into it and find ways to waste the time, like playing Space Harrier or even Hang On at the local arcade. You can even play darts, which is also really fun.
Yeah, that's the way.
And if you think our delivery here on GameSack is wooden, stilted, and scripted, wait till you hear the voice acting in this game. Still, it's part of the charm.
Huh? Get out of my space, schoolboy!
Who the hell you think you are?
Jerk off!
He wears sunglasses and a leather jacket, and he's got a tattoo on his arm.
Want me to kick your ass?
Go home to mommy!
I don't got time to talk to you. Bye.
Could it be that guy?
Sure! Nagai-san is the boss. He drops by once in a while. They claim to follow the path of the warrior, but it is obvious they are on the wrong path.
I'm sorry. Bye.
I'm in the camp that loves this game. In fact, it's one of my favorite game experiences of all time. I didn't want to stop playing when I was recording the footage from this game for this episode. It's very, very addicting for me. I love getting into fights, petting a kitten,
Are you cold?
or even guzzling down a delicious Jet Cola. I'd even have fun getting my hair cut in this game if that was possible.
I love this game too. I love visiting the arcade and playing Sega arcade games.
Space Harrier, 100 yen a game.
I love collecting Sonic, Virtua Fighter, and other figures from the machines.
Hey, what's this?
I love the instant win cola cans from the tomato store.
Just this, please.
Draw a ticket, please.
Fifth prize.
Oh, and the story is cool too. It's the closest thing to an RPG that I actually like.
Shenmue 2 came out for the Dreamcast as well, but they never released it in the US because Microsoft wanted an exclusive for their Xbox system. So I got the European version, which has Japanese voices and English text. These European Dreamcast boxes are just horrible, by the way. So fragile and poorly designed, not to mention ugly. I'd much rather have this. But anyway, Shenmue 2 was a much larger game and it was just as intriguing.
お年玉どうですか？面白い。勝負といこうか。
This game even inspired me to build my very own Lucky Hit board from the scratch. The ball moved a lot faster than it did in the game.
Yeah, your ball dropped too fast.
Lucky Hit. How about a game of Lucky Hit?
I'll try.
The rules are...
I know what the rules are.
We take turns. You go first.
I'm on a roll today.
My turn. All right. Your turn.
That's not it.
My turn. That's it. I win.
Today wasn't my day. I'll be back.
Do you know where South Carmain Quarter is? I'm looking for Yintin Apartments.
It was weird having Ryo, or Dio as they pronounce it in the game sometimes, have a different voice and speak Japanese, but the Xbox version has the original English voice if you get attached to that guy.
Did you see anybody running around here?
I've played through both games countless times and can't wait to play through again. Here's a comparison of the Dreamcast and Xbox versions of Shenmue 2.
Joe, when do you think Shenmue 3 is going to come out? Wow, Joe, I'm sure our viewers have some definite opinions about Shenmue.
Oh, I'm sure they do. They'll let us know. And let us know what your opinions are about the other games we covered this week as well, even if they're totally in the wrong.
Yeah, and if there's some other games out there that cause polarizing opinions among players, let us know about those too. Sorry.
Yeah. Dude, don't touch me. Don't touch me. Anyway, we'll see you next week on GameSack. You know, Dave, polarizing opinions doesn't just count for games. It actually crosses over into video game systems as well.
Well, yeah, I can see that.
Yeah, case in point, the Nintendo Wii system.
Oh, what?
Yeah. People actually hate this system.
How can anybody eat the Wii?
Yeah, I'm one of them. It's a piece of crap. It really is.
Is it really now?
Yes, it is.
Well, what do you think about this system then? Do you still think that's a piece of crap?
You know, I kind of like the Wii. It has some really good games. It's very, very enjoyable. It's a nice system.
That's what I thought. You just got to put things into perspective.